see my code. That was not for him to read.
I just wanted to get ahead of the row hacks,
All right. Hey, Paul.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know if you can hear us or if we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
It looks like you're muted.
Oh, no. There we go. How's that?
All right, perfect. All right. So for those of you who don't know Paul, actually Paul and I have never talked directly, even though we've known each other for 4 years.
Right.
Paul is the behind Albert. He's the artist who does all our Albert drawings. So I thought it'd be fun to have him come, and we didn't really have an agenda or anything, but he does a bunch of live streams all the time, and I thought it'd be fun to do it as a team. So we have. Oh yeah, Paul, I'll give you a tour of the office too at some point, so you can see all of your artwork all over the office. It's almost like a shrine to your. It's like an art gallery. There's literally, I can see about 8 things in this room. In fact, the only artwork that you can see right now is the only artwork that you didn't actually see.
That's funny.
But yeah. All right. So I guess Paul, you want to do 2 things. One is introduce yourself, and then 2 is let's figure out what you're going to draw, because we haven't figured that out yet. So if anyone has ideas for what Albert we can draw, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm Paul Cox, and I do freelance illustration for my job, and I've been having a good time drawing Albert over these past few years. It's probably one of my favorite things to draw, so I always enjoy when I get to do that. Married, have 4 kids. One of them is probably trying to get in here right now. I live in southern Wisconsin, and we just got some snow last night. But it's all melted by now.
We have a few Minnesota people here, including Kanad, who's probably physically closest to you right now, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Minneapolis.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in Janesville, Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin.
All right, so I drew a blank on what to draw. Does anyone have any suggestions for an Albert that we can work on?
Here, I can...
Well, first, I'm curious what your favorite. I'm sure they're all every drawing is like it's hard to distinguish. But has there been one that's like you're really excited about or super enjoyable to draw?
As far as like anything that I've drawn, Albert's scene. I think
Albert related.
My favorite was the Terminator one. That was my favorite one to draw.
It was one of those ones that I didn't have any reason to use it for. I just had the idea for I'll be back. I will be back. And like it was so cool to have a Terminator Albert. And then I've used that on Twitter a few times in a few places, and it's in Slack. But I never had any like real agenda for that one.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
All right. Any ideas? Throw out ideas for an Albert that we can draw. We have in the chat. Oh, the fellow kids meme. A spooky Albert. Oh, I like that. Let's do a Halloween Albert. Do you want to do a Halloween Albert?
Yeah, that'd be good. Let me...
What's Albert going to dress up like for Halloween this year? Any suggestions?
I'll do anything.
An owl. He can dress up as an owl.
Dress up as an owl.
Albert dress up as our CEO.
That's great.
That would be pretty funny.
Let me figure out how to share my screen here.
Frankenstein Albert?
Or if Albert had the Greg puppet, was holding the Greg puppet.
The lithograph for this time does have Albert with a Albert puppet. So
Albert with his tethered, like from the movie Us.
Sounds like too spooky. In the past, he's dressed up as an Octocat. I like that one. What else?
Maybe like Nyan Cat, but Albert.
You do like...
Something like that.
What was that?
Albert as the Duolingo owl.
I kind of like that one. Okay, want to do that one? I like that. He's dressed up like another owl.
He's dressed up like another owl.
I was
Okay.
gonna suggest Hootsuite, but they're canceled.
I can do multiple ones if you want. So
I like Ryan's idea of the Vampire Albert.
Vampire Albert.
That would be kinda cool.
We can do. I don't know, Paul. I don't want to like dictate what you do, but we do just quick ones. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
much either.
Yeah, I'll just do some sketches. So what was the first one? What's the first one you want?
Let's do Tony. How do you pronounce it? I've never said it out loud.
I don't know how to pronounce it now. I don't want to.
Did you say now you don't want to? All
Well, what if I get it wrong?
We're addresses the Duolingo owl then. So, can you find a picture of it?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, Gundam Albert. That's a good one, Jesse.
Gundam Albert.
Gee, I would love to see a pair costume with Alberta because I feel like we never see her. I've seen Alberta once, and if they did like a cat and a ball of yarn, or like those costumes that go together with an Alberta.
You want to
Oh.
do a couple's costume for? We're getting real elaborate here. We're adding people to the Read Me cinematic universe as well.
I guess I never thought of Albert as having a gender.
Oh yeah, I guess I assume.
I will say that, so the voice for the Albert puppet this morning, I don't think would have been the voice I would have gone with, like the old Wise and Owl. I still liked it, but I don't know if that's canonical. I haven't decided yet.
So I have a feeling this Duolingo Albert is gonna look just like regular Albert, just green.
Yeah, maybe this was a little too close to home.
So here, I'll just give him like the head.
I'm looking up the Duolingo Albert right now, or owl.
So, Paul, how are you drawing? Do you have a tablet?
Yeah, I'm using a Cintiq 24 Pro is what it's called from Wacom. Wacom? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
So yeah, it's just this big 24-inch tablet connected to my computer, and that's what I use. I actually just got it back from being repaired. I was using my iPad for like the past couple weeks.
Ooh, how was that?
It was different, but I was able to get things done.
How'd you get into cartooning and illustrating?
How did I get into it? I was kind of forced into it a little bit.
Okay.
Not at gunpoint or anything, just like so in 2009 I was laid off from my job, and that was kind of around the time when everything was kind of like the recession was happening and all this junk. I couldn't find any work after I was laid off, and so what's that?
What was your job?
It was a job, let's see.
Not cartooning though.
No, it wasn't cartooning. It was like it was like technical art. So I was designing scroll saw patterns for woodworking and stuff like that. Just really intricate things that I had to use vector programs for, and it really had nothing to do with drawing. But so I was laid off from that, and I couldn't find work, so I just started looking around on Craigslist, and that was the only thing I could think of that had like art jobs. So I was looking on there, saw some people were looking for artists for different types of projects, and so I got my first freelancing gig on there, doing like artwork for a Facebook game, and then after that I found sites like Freelance and Odesk, and saw that I could like bid on jobs and things like that. So I started working on those, and then those eventually formed into Upwork, and then I've really just been going through Upwork for most of my work. So that's kind of how it's kind of like a roundabout way of how I got into freelancing.
that is kind of how I met you, but I don't think you even know this, but I was at a party and I met this guy and he was showing me the Every Vowel cartoons.
Oh,
And that's kind of how I found you. And I was like, oh, I can hire cartoonists for this.
yeah.
I don't know if you still do them or I think you did them, right?
Yeah, I did the Every Vowel tunes, and haven't done those in a few years. I think he stopped doing those.
What other kinds of things do you draw, Paul? Like for other companies, like what are the? I mean, us obviously is Albert, but like, what are the other kinds of things you're
Well,
illustrating?
one of my most recent ones, and it's kind of a ongoing thing, is I'm drawing marketing comic strips. So there's a couple companies that I'm doing these comic strips for, where it's like they're using comics to explain their products, or explain their brand and what they do, types of services they offer. So there's an AI company that I'm doing some work for, and they actually they were asking kind of the same thing, and I mentioned I do this owl character for README, and they're like, oh, we know README, we use README. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Right. What company?
Pro Lego is what it's called.
Okay, cool.
And so that's kind of the main thing that I'm doing, is just like marketing comic strips now, and then character designs for different companies. So here's just like a rough sketch of
Nice.
Albert.
And then in the office, in our library of books related to people who work here, we have I have one of your RefTunes books.
Oh, you do?
So no one's in the office anymore, but once you come back to the office, people can find that.
That's
I
awesome.
bought that off Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Which book was that?
I don't know. Let me check.
It was so I do this. I have this comic strip series called RefTunes, and it's basically it's basically just a comic strip series based on like church history, which is also something I'm very interested in. So that, and then my wife and I have illustrated a children's book based on a book from the 1600s called Pilgrim's Progress. We illustrated a children's book based off of that.
What's that about?
It's just about, it's kind of like an allegory of like this guy's journey through faith, and he just meets a lot of different obstacles along the way.
So about how long does, like, if you were to do this, Albert, for real, and like make it polished, about how long would that take?
I don't know, maybe about an hour and a half, maybe, give or take.
Paul, do your kids constantly have to draw stuff for them?
Yes, and then but they also love to draw, so they're always constantly finding paper around the house, any kind of paper that they can find to draw on. So we're constantly finding scraps of paper everywhere. That's kind of a constant theme in our house. Can you guys pick up all this paper, please?
In a few years, you can start outsourcing Alberts to them.
Yeah.
They got a built-in team.
Yes. They actually, like, sometimes they'll come in here and sit next to me at the desk here, pull out some paper and just draw what I'm drawing, whether it's Albert or something else. And they'll just look at what I'm drawing and then try to copy it. It's fun.
Next time you have a kid-made Albert drawing, I want to see a picture of that.
Okay.
All right. right. So what has been your least favorite Albert that I've asked you to draw?
Least-
Is there any that are, like insanely hard to get right, or
Least favorite.
maybe not least favorite, but
I
most
don't-
difficult, or like
Oh.
or a message where like I don't want to do this.
I don't know. Maybe any time that there's buildings involved, I think.
Okay. I can see one of your buildings like from where I'm sitting. I'll grab it and show it to you. It comes off the wall.
Like there was I think the Austin watercolor one.
Oh yeah, I got that one here too. Also in this room.
And then that
We got
that
this one that you did.
the Disney one.
Our old office.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I guess this one's a little bit easier, it's just like lines, but
Yeah.
but yeah.
Anytime I have to draw buildings in perspective, I have to prepare myself.
Oh, and you must hate the offsite ones, the like watercolor drawings. 'Cause those ones- looking at them, they pretty much all have buildings on them.
Yeah. I don't hate them, but buildings aren't always my favorite to draw, but it's something I need to get better at.
I love the sketch you made of the group photo, Paul.
Oh, thanks.
The Hawaii trip. I made that my Facebook cover photo for a while.
Awesome.
We're a little bigger than that now. That was probably like 12 people in that one. And now we're up to 34 people, I guess. So,
Oh wow.
like a while ago.
Yeah, might be due for another one because it's just so cool to see yourself in cartoon form. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
that's me.
Sometimes those are some difficult ones as well because it's hard to get likenesses that people enjoy.
One thing I really liked is how much Albert's evolved over the past few years. Where like he was pretty he didn't smile a lot early on, and like now he's always so friendly and happy. But I can always like date the Albert how long ago it was made just by like he's got a lot more like cartoony and like flexible and all that over the past few years. He also gains and loses weight a lot, so I gotta check in out his diets.
Yeah, that's another thing I need to work on is consistency in the characters.
I personally don't care at all. It's not like it's a cartoon where it's like why is Bugs Bunny fat all of a sudden? So
Right.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, I remember that first Albert that I drew. I was kind of you had like an original
Yep.
design, and you wanted me to do that. The first one I did was a Halloween one, and you wanted me to design him kind of similar to the original, and so I just kind of kept his mouth
Yep.
just like that, just the beak and no expression whatsoever. But I remember when you asked me to make him smile or like give him like a happy face more, and that kind of I feel like that kind of changed the whole direction of the character, which was fun.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, everything that you did early on was my fault. But yeah, I really like where he is now. He's happy and excited.
So here's the Duolingo Albert.
Perfect.
Nice.
Right. So one idea that I like. This is Illus's idea, but Paul, you know the Porky Pig. That's all, folks.
Yeah,
We do one of those where it's like that's owl, folks. Where it's that's.
where he's like coming out of the circles.
Yep. And then he's the all in it, the owl.
That's
I would love to see that happen. I do want to also vocalize my support for the I voted Albert just in the timely fashion. I think that would be a cool thing to do.
I voted. So which one first? The I voted or the?
Yeah, let's try voting. Let's do the voting one, I guess. That sounds good.
Okay.
If Ilias is the one who picked the other one, and then he put in support behind the boat one, we'll do that.
Oops.
I can't believe you just erased it. I would like, if I drew that, I'd be like,
I didn't erase it.
oh, okay. That's I was like, you just, no shame, you just erased it.
I'm sick of this. Raw. No, it's all, they're all on separate layers. So just in case we need to use them later on.
When you guys are talking about, oh sorry,
Oh, go for it, Hassan.
I was gonna say when you guys were talking about the different weights, like of Albert, the only time that came up was when we were making the plushie. So Paul, I don't know if you know, but we made a plushie. I was saying if you don't have one, we should send one to
Oh,
Paul.
nice.
We turned him into a 3D character, and so that was the only time where they were like, he's a little on the heavier side. Well, it depends on the angles. Like we sent him all the different illustrations, or like you decide, because the company we use, their whole thing is that they turn 2D illustrations into a 3D plushie.
Oh,
So
nice.
we sent them all the different designs, and then they came up with I gave them a little bit of feedback with the eyebrows and stuff, and Greg will show you what we came up with, or what they came up with.
Here's the amateur hours with a plushie in here. Here's what he came out looking like.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So if you don't have one, I'll send you one too if you want one.
I don't have one. That would be awesome.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm due to send you a box of swag. I've got a dozen things to send you. We got socks, we got everything. So.
Sucks.
Paul, you don't mind all of us staring at you while you work?
I don't care.
No.
That's what my kids do. So,
How old are your kids, Paul?
let's see. 4, 6, 8, and 11.
Oh wow, nice.
Are they like going back to school yet, or how's it working for you? Or are they all day?
We homeschool, so nothing really changed for us.
Oh, okay.
We homeschool. I work from home, and it's all good.
Nice.
2 and 3 years apart is nice too. Like my older sister's 3 years apart from me.
Uh huh.
That was always nice. Like it's a nice gap where it's like a little bit, get a little bit of room, but close enough they can play with each other and like, share good times.
Yeah, those are good ages. Yeah, my brother and I are 10 years apart, and so that was kind of difficult.
Mm.
He was born when I was 12, so or 10. That would be 12 years.
Greg, how do you decide what we turn into like a sticker and what we put on? Like we have that COVID mask, Albert, that we turned into a sticker, but some things we turned into, or some is just we live as art.
I have no rhyme or reason really. I buy stickers for like when we do like conferences and stuff for the most part. Yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason. So if anyone has an Albert they particularly love and wants to get a sticker done, the only thing that I'm notoriously bad at is putting the README name on the stickers. So like I always get a bunch of stickers and swag done with Albert on it because I love it, and then it doesn't say the name README anywhere. So like people have like Albert stickers all over, and there's like nothing about the company. So that's the one caveat is I try to only get stickers now that say README or something. But I'm trying to be better about that.
I just realized I think we have enough stickers that I could cover the entire back of my laptop. I've been keeping it clean this whole time, but I might just deck it out.
My laptop has a sticker of my laptop on it that Paul made. I'll send a picture of that later. Or should I go? No, I can't do that.
My kids put the Albert stickers on their Yetis. So they love them.
I'll send you more stickers then, Paul.
I still have a bunch I haven't used yet.
I think my favorite Albert of all time is the one of him holding the blue heart. I feel like that's my go-to Albert that I like the most. Use that slack a lot, or I use it slack
You
a
cut
lot.
out, Greg. Greg, I think you cut out.
Oh. Am I back?
That's like internet connection. Yeah. Try again.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anyone have any questions for Paul?
Paul, do you also do the animated Alberts, like the GIFs that we have?
Oh, Tony, don't bring up the fact that I'm cheating on Paul. Let's
Oh, how am I supposed to know that information?
No, I don't do animation.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
Just kidding.
On one hand, I'm not replacing you at all, Paul. On the other hand, I am terrified if you stop doing freelance work, what we're going to do about Alberts.
Right. Well,
I need to get some sort of like thing in our contract or something where like I still get like 3 hours a year no matter what. Like even if you.
There you go.
Or I mean, at some point we're gonna have every permutation of Albert possible, so we'll be good.
Right.
Greg, Sticker Mill sells holographic stickers now. Do you have an Albert that you want to make holographic?
Definitely we have the Terminator one holographic. The shiny metal.
Nice.
Greg, what do you think of having? I know it's a ways away, but would you ever consider having like a sculpture, like an Albert like statue, even a small one?
So I would love to get one of those done. I don't know where or how. I've looked a few times because I want to like decent quality. But I've looked a few times and can't find a good one. But I would love that. And then I really love GitHub. GitHub raised a bunch of money, built an insane office, and then removed parts of the office simply for the sake of like people were too embarrassed. It was so ostentatious. But they had like a museum that you walk through to get into the office that had like the first skeleton of a AutoCAD, like the first laptop. So it has like museum that was all like fake as you walked in, and then they had a gigantic Albert or a gigantic her name is what's her name? Luna? No, what's the AutoCAD's name? Does anyone know? It starts with an L. Anyway, they had like a gigantic sculpture of her, and I was like, someday that's gonna be us. And then you like walked through the Oval Office, like they had like a full scale replica of the Oval Office. Like it was the coolest / corniest office ever.
Did they get rid of that? They don't have that anymore? They got rid of that room?
Yep, they got rid of it because it was too embarrassing. And probably a little too political. But definitely too embarrassing. Just to have a like gigantic 2-scale replica of anything is a little ostentatious. So so they removed that, and but yeah, I always wanted one since then. Because they had a gigantic Albert statue. Like theirs was huge, or a gigantic Luna statue.
Yeah.
Too big.
Because I feel like I remember, like, if Paul made enough cross sections of like a certain pose, like I remember we went to that Walt Disney Museum where the first time they had to turn 2D characters into 3D.
Oh yeah.
Like we could do that same kind of thing.
Ooh, yeah, I feel like we're getting a vampire.
Yes.
Paul, how many fingers does Albert have?
4. Well,
4.
3 fingers and a thumb. If you can call them that, they're more like his wings, but
Wingtips, yeah.
wingtips. I don't know. I just create them
And
as
three
fingers.
toes, right?
2 toes.
Or 2 toes.
Yes, 2.
toes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 2 toes.
Your food's here, by the way, Greg.
Oh, thank you.
I guess just to give you a heads up.
It's weird Zoom with someone who's also in the office. Or who's like, what did everyone else get for lunch? Anything good?
Eggs.
Did you say eggs?
I said eggs. Yes.
Like you just ordered eggs, or?
I cooked them.
Oh, I guess that's fair. You can do that.
My
What
buddy
did you get for lunch?
I went to Mendocino Farms, and got their Impossible Burger taco salad.
I had that a couple of weeks ago, and that was really good.
Yeah.
That was like one of the that was really really good salad.
It's one of my favorite Mendo orders.
I really like Mendocino Farms.
Some really good sandwiches.
It's like a chain. It's probably only California, but I was going to the office and I really like it.
I used to go all the time and get the not so fried chicken sandwich. So good.
That looks so good. I haven't worked with Courage to get it though, because they have a calorie count on it, and it's terrifying.
Wait, what do you need courage for?
What, Mary?
What do you need courage for? Am I a robot?
No.
No.
No, you said fine.
Wait, crunch?
What? I thought you said you need courage to get the chicken.
Oh no, I haven't worked with Courage.
Courage?
Yes.
Courage?
What's
Why
scary
you need
about it?
courage?
It's just like there's just a lot of calories. It just seems really heavy.
It's delicious.
Just
I feel like just live your best life. Eat the sandwich.
they just introduced the salad version of the not so fried chicken sandwich.
Did they really? Oh, that's awesome.
Greg, how do you stack up Mendocino Farms to Blue Barn?
So where?
Blue Barn?
Oh, I've never been to Blue Barn. What's Blue Barn?
It's like a salad place in the marina, but it's like pretty popular,
Okay.
and they're pretty similar. Like they have a really good taco salad as well.
Ooh, I want to try that.
I was a big mix person for a long time, and no one else like mixed with the company. I think for the most part. But then we got into sweet greens, and I really like sweet greens now.
I can't tell. I feel like they're very similar. What would you say is the biggest difference? I almost thought they were the same. I almost thought they were the same place for a while.
Sweet green is so much better.
Oh yeah, Gabe says that too. Okay, two
Oh,
votes
I
for sugar green.
would prefer sweet greens.
Okay, all right.
I prefer mixed. I'll be the other one out. I feel like the
There
portion
you go.
sizes are bigger, and they have better seasonal offerings.
Mm-hmm. I'm still team mixed.
There was a while where I was trying to be like a Quiznos guy and depart from Subway, and then I found out that they didn't have cucumbers, and I was like, hell no, Subway forever. Like it wasn't like they were out that day. I'm like, do you have cucumbers? They're like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we don't have cucumbers. And I was like, forget you guys. Subway for life.
I really like this Albert.
Yeah.
Oh, what's like your progressive like process? Like I say, you do the shapes first, then you like zoom in and do the detail. Like how many steps of layers? Like is it the same every time, or do you like? I guess what's the process?
It's typically the same every time. I like to get the basic. I like to do like a big brush to get like the basic shape, so I'm not getting bogged down with details. And then once I get the basic gesture and shape and everything, then I'll turn down the opacity on that layer and get a smaller pencil brush and just do this kind of rough penciling in of more of the details and stuff.
How do you know, like, when are you ready to, like, add color? Like, do that whole part?
So once I finish this penciling, then I'll do the inking, which is just adding the black line art. And then once that's done, then I add the color. That's when I know.
Paul, I don't know if you know this, but Albert has a voice now.
He does.
Yeah. Greg, he had an intro video, like a musical number. I don't know what you call it.
Off Broadway.
Off Broadway, yeah. But Albert has a voice now.
What's it sound like?
I don't know if I stand by it. I like it in the thing, but I always kind of figured Albert's voice was a little younger and more high pitched. But the musician I hired for it sang it with like a very wizened old owl vibe.
Oh.
So I'll send it to you after Paul. But
Okay.
If you want to watch it, but
the funniest part is that Greg has there's a Muppet Greg.
Oh.
Puppet Greg.
Oh, really?
But it's not Greg's voice. It's like a Muppet Greg.
I'm really proud. Pat actually thought that was my voice, so I'm pretty proud of that. Even though I genuinely cannot sing at all.
I feel like there was some parrot sounding into the owl voice. It could be like sitting on a pirate's shoulder. And it would be like, that voice could be used for either.
Actually, no, Greg, a comic strip wouldn't be a bad idea at some point. Content marketing.
I would love it. Don't say that word, but yeah, I love it.
So do you start from scratch every time?
Yeah.
So crazy. Whenever I took like animation classes in college, we would always have to draw the little pieces and then like save them to then like reuse like little pieces of the same characters over and over again and like just put them together.
Okay.
This seems so hard. Way harder.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's probably good for animation because otherwise you'd be drawing every single frame. Then it'd be like the traditional hand-drawn animation where you're just every single frame is a new drawing. But with these, I mean, we're not drawing like frame by frame. Each scene is different. It requires different poses, different gestures, and everything. So it's a lot easier to draw it from scratch than to copy and paste a previous one and try and juxtapose it to make it look believable. So like for example, when I start drawing, like I start with like the center line kind of, and that kind of tells me what the gesture is going to be like. So if I'm copying and pasting a previously made Owlbert, it's going to look kind of stiff and robotic if I just reuse it and try to change his arms and legs. Plus that would probably take a lot longer than just redrawing it for me personally.
Yeah. Greg, when are you getting an Owlbert tat?
At various times, over the years, I have promised to get one if when we sell the company or IPO or whatever. But like, probably not before then. But I'll get one at some point. Who's in?
I'll give
That
one.
was I was in another Zoom thing a few days ago. They were saying that they had a retreat for a company retreat. This guy was talking about how he went on a company retreat and like an offsite, and for some reason someone hired a tattoo artist. Like a bunch of people got matching tattoos at the offsite. We definitely are not going to do that, but I thought that was a gigantic mistake to get a company tattoo as a group.
I'm loving this Dracula.
That sounds really good.
There he is, the Albert Lugosi.
Looks like Pat's back of trading cards. There's Pat dressed up like
Are all these ones from like people's Instagrams, or like my money suit's definitely from my Instagram?
Did you upload it? I'm not sure where they came from. So everyone uploaded a picture.
Oh, maybe I did.
Yeah, we asked people to upload pictures in the type
That's
form
right.
like 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
My alternate picture featured Mustache Greg in the background, but then that was cropped out for my baseball card.
Oh. I was wondering why it was
So
like
now it's just like, yeah, so now it's just like a weirdly cropped picture of me with like really like less than optimal hair.
I thought that was funny, which is why I left it that way. When I was going through an editing room, I liked that it was just your nose up. It felt very Knob-like for some reason.
Yeah, I did have a phase on Snapchat where all my pictures look like this.
Shanae, for yours, I had to take like 20 minutes to edit out the watermark because you did a picture from your college.
Can you send me that? Because I thought that I bought it, but then I didn't, and now they're expired and I can't even buy it anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
Mark and Gabe's cracked me up because they look so young.
Well, to be fair, Gabe is like 12 and Mark's was like 2 years ago. I like that Dom and Mark both are wearing cowboy hats. I made Bennett intentionally really tall because he mentioned he was the tallest person in his family. So that was an intentional editing decision.
Tony, was this a Halloween party?
It wasn't really a party, but yeah, I'm the Ice King from Adventure Time.
Oh, nice.
Luna has a matching costume. I'll let you guess what that is.
Wait, is Luna from Luna's Adventure Time, or Luna is the name of the Anka guy?
Luna's my dog's name.
Oh. Sorry, I thought. Did Greg also say Luna was the name of Anka cat? Did I get that right?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if it's Luna though. I said that, but I think wrong. Ooh, I think we're getting a Frankenstein Albert.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, now that you draw on the stylus, do you ever draw like on paper for work or anything?
Not for work, but just for like personal stuff.
I have Paul drew a picture of Albert and sent it to me, and I have that in my apartment. It's one of my favorite things ever. It's like a hand-drawn one. It's so cool.
Very into the shoes.
Oh, you know what's probably not going to be open this year is those like haunted houses. You know, in SF they have that. They have a few of them, haunted house experiences. Or
Mhm.
maybe they'll have them because of COVID and all.
I've seen them come in like drive-through format. They're like in other places.
To be fair, it would be the scariest haunted house ever if you could get COVID from
I mean, it's a risk, yeah. It adds a whole new level of, a whole new dimension of fear.
I was wrong. It's not Luna. It's Mona. Is the name of the Octocap from GitHub. Her name's Mona. And one of the coolest things about it is so they bought that from iStockPhoto, the character, and like kind of made their own. And the artist who did that character and put it on iStockPhoto also did the Twitter bird, and the Twitter bird was bought from the same artist. So he just did 2 stock arts, and it was the Twitter bird and Octocap, and they both bought and became mascot for companies.
Paul, do you do any stock art? Like, just put some stuff out there?
I tried to, like, maybe once or twice. I made like a cloud and lightning bolt. And then I quit because I wanted to do other things.
Oh, you mean like icons?
Yeah, well, it was, I don't know, just I was testing out the platforms to sell stock art on, and I decided I didn't want to do it.
I keep thinking about being one of those actors in the haunted house if it was a drive-in. I feel like I'd be so scared someone was going to hit me with their car.
Did you like spook someone and then they like hit the gas by mistake?
Yeah.
You can get real close to the chainsaw.
Here we go.
A bunch of stuff and I was muted. Basically, we got 10 minutes left, so if you have to use the bathroom or anything, you need a quick break, go for that now. And they'll play games in 10 minutes. So download Among Us if you want to play Among Us, or you can join Scribble, which is on computer, or if anyone has a game they want to play, feel free to post in the chat.
I'm going to take a quick break, but Paul, I was wondering, do you have any favorite artists yourself? Like,
yeah. So one of my favorites is Bill Watterson, who did Calvin and Hobbes. So that's probably my all-time favorite comic strip. But then I also like Doug TenNapel, who did the Earthworm Jim character, and
Jim.
and
I remember that.
Yeah, he puts out a new graphic novel every year, sometimes 2 a year, and I really enjoy his art style. But then, let's see, I don't know, I like a lot of different things.
Yeah, that takes me way back. I haven't. Wasn't that like a video game too?
Yeah, it was for the Sega Genesis. That's what I remember playing it on.
Yeah. That's right.
And
man, that takes me way back.
Yeah, and there was like flying cows that would always fall on you and stuff. All right, well, there's Frankenstein Albert. Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Any last minute questions for Paul? Questions, comments, thank yous?
Thanks for coming on. It's been nice to sit with the artist. And, you know, watching these illustrations, watching you pump these out over the last 2 years. It's really cool to sit down with you and watch your work.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's fun. It's always fun to do this. Just like sketch out different ideas and stuff.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving our entire company a bit of a face with Albert. Really appreciate over the years the literally hundreds of Alberts you've drawn. I think we're up to, maybe not hundreds, but we're up to what, like 130 or something like that. So there's been a good number. But yeah, nice to meet you in person too, or sort of in person.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah, no problem. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye,
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul.
Bye.